Good morning, everyone. This is BremSter, and today I'm coming to you with a puzzle by a setter I'd not heard of before I saw their name pop up in the Cracking the Cryptic Discord archive last night. And it was with this puzzle, and I saw it and went, I recognize that name. I have no idea if the name is based on the thing that I recognized it from. I didn't ask, but I thought I'm going to give this one a look. So this is a puzzle by, I'm going to say magnageas. I have no idea on the pronunciation of this one. If I butchered that, I'm sorry. Called Power Grid. Power Grid is something I recognize from my board gaming days. I have seen many games of Power Grid played, and I've played it once myself. And I like Power Grid. It was fun, but yeah, that's a meaty game. Good fun. This is puzzle number 5786 in the Cracking the Cryptic Discord puzzle archive. If you're ever looking for good puzzles, there are so many over there. I can't believe they're approaching 6,000. I remember when there was just a few hundred, and it was like, oh my God, I'm never going to get through all these. I'm never even going to see all of them. There's so many puzzles. And in their testing channel, there are even more. Like, I think probably only 1 in 10 puzzles makes it to the archive from testing. So, yeah, there's a lot of puzzles over on the Cracking the Cryptic Discord server. Go give that a look. Also, I'll mention this at the start, which I normally don't do. Come join us on the Sudoku Solvers Discord, for which there will be a link below, where 4 of us have our own Discord channels. That is myself, Ranks, Scott Strosahl, and the Data Math. And one of the reasons you might want to do that is on the BremSter discussion, you can come and chat to us about the March, or I keep saying the March of the Quads, the pack of 40 quadruples puzzles that we just released. It is, as time that you're watching this, it will be the 14th of March, I'm hoping. At time of recording, it is a couple of days before then, but I've already had a submission of someone who has sent in all of the solution codes for those puzzles. They have completed the entire pack. It's not a race, fortunately, so being first isn't going to get them anything, but wow, that is a huge amount of work, particularly considering some of the puzzles right at the end are phenomenally challenging. The way I'm doing it is the pack doesn't actually mention my channel, but if you send in row 3 of any of the puzzles, that will be considered a solution code. And for every solution code that you send in, just send them all in the same email, as many as you do, you will get an entry into winning this month's prize. I will be carrying this on to next month, so you do not need to rush through the pack. But if you submit in this month, then you will also get your entry carried over to next month as well. So yeah, have a look at March of the Quads. Link for that is also below. But now it is time for us to play Power Grid. Wait, no, that's a different hobby. It is now time for us to try and solve Power Grid by Magnageas, I suspect. Magnageas? Sorry. And the puzzle he has created for us. So there's 3 standard rules in effect on this one. So we have normal Sudoku rules. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. We have killer cages. So the cages will have a number in their top left. The digits in the cages must sum to the number in the top left corner of the cage. If there is no number given in a cage, then we have to figure it out. But in this puzzle, it is fairly obvious what that will be, but we'll get to that while solving. There are also some thermos in the grid. Along thermos, digits must strictly increase from the bulb to the tip. So this digit will be higher than this digit will be higher than this digit, and they must always work up the thermo. So that's how the rules work. Now let's give this a shot. So there's a couple of very given things here. So when you look at a 24 cage, there's only one way to make 24 in 3 digits, and that is 789. And we know the order of them because the thermo is telling us the order of the digits. So this is 7, this is 8, and this is 9. And down here, the only way to make 6 is with 1, 2, and 3. Now, 8 and 21. Actually, 16 is probably where I want to look next, isn't it? Because 16 is 7 and 9, and I've already put a 7 and a 9 in those columns. So this has to be 9 and 7. Because you can't do 8, 8, and by the time you... So the way I often do it when I'm thinking about cage totals and not using my calculator, and I probably should use my calculator because it's very early in the morning, is I start at one of the extremes that it's close to. So 9 plus 7 gets me to 16, or 16 minus 9 gets me 7. Then 8 minus 8, that doesn't do it. And then I've crossed the center boundary where I'm crossing to the same digit, which means that I'm now seeing the same digits as I did before. So 8 must have a 1 on it because 2, 3, and 4 is 9. So there must be a 1 in an 8. So that must be a 1. So it'd either be 1, 2, which is 3, 5, or 1, 3, 4. And now I'm hitting the point where I've used the 4. And if I was to do a 4, then it would be 4, 3. And it can't be in that order because of the thermo. So I'm now using that trick where jumping the center. A 22. So if I don't use a 9, I'm using 8, 7, and 6. 8 and 7 is 15, and 6 is 21, so that doesn't work. I must use a 9. So 22 minus 9 is... 22 minus 9 is... math. 22 minus 9 is 13. So to get to 13, I can use 8 and 5 or 7 and 6, and then I'm hitting the same thing, 6 and 7, which I can't do in that order. 21 in 3. Okay, so if this is a 9, which it can be, that leaves me with 12. 12 would be 8 and 4. 7 and 5, I can't do 6 and 6. If this is 8, whoops, if this is 8, then I'm left with 13. And 13 could be, I can't use 9, 4, so I'd have to be 7, 6. That would be it. Because I have to start lower than the 8 because of the thermo. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8, 9. I think that's correct. And this is a 21, so this would be... oh, no, except this one's forced to be a 9 because there's an 8 there. So this is a 9. So these have to sum to... I just did them. I should have done the top one first. 21 minus 9 is 12. I can't do 8... hang on. Did I get this wrong? 21 minus 9 is 12. I can't do 8, 4. I think I got this wrong. No, I didn't. I can't do 8, 4. So it has to be 7, 5 because I can't do 6, 6. That has to be correct. Which takes 5 out of there, which takes 7 out of there. So this is 8, this is 9, and this is 4. Okay. So I was able to do that without my calculator, which for before 7 a.m. on a Sunday morning, I'm pretty happy with that. Am I just going to pencil mark this thermo? Yes, yes I am. This has a maximum of 8. This has a maximum of 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, and 2. So this is 8 because it couldn't be 7. This is 6, so this is 7. So that is restricted. Now I need to put a 9 in this box, and it can now only go there. That puts 9 in one of those two. 9 is right there because I've got 4 9s looking into box 9. 9 is right there. 9 is right. Okay, so now it's coming into play. So 9 would be in one of those two in box 1, except this cage. So this cage means that digits cannot repeat, and I just put a 9 into this cage, so it cannot go there. But one of the things to note, so that places all of the 9s. But one of the things to note is this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 9-cell cage, so it is basically an extra region. It will have all of the digits in it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is also a complete set of the digits from 1 to 9. So that is important. Cool. Okay, so doing more Sudoku. 7 goes in one of those two. This column is actually quite full. These are 1, 2, and 3. So we've got a 1, 2, 3 in this box. So this becomes 4 and 5, which puts 5 down here. Puts 4 in one of those two. 7 is in one of those two because of those 7s. These are 1, 2, 3, and 8. 8 is in one of those two. Hmm. Seven, 1. Eight is up there. 5 is down here, but seems unrestricted. So 7 has to go in this cage and cannot go here, here, or here, and that's not a 7. So this is a 7. So this is not a 7. That knocks 7 out of those. 7 has to go in this cage, and it can't go there, there, and that 7 knocks it out of there. This is a 7. So 7 is now in one of those two, and in one of those two, which knocks 7 out of there, which places the 7 there. Can I do more with that? Like 5 in this cage has to go in one of those. So I can't put 5 in any of those cells. Well, I couldn't have put it there anyway. But it could still go... So 5 is in one of those two. Similarly, 5 can't go in here, so 5 is down here, but not there. Oh, right. That's a 7. That is a 7. And I can prove it, but not easily. It is very, very clear that that is a 7 once you see the trick. And to see the trick, I'm going to need to explain a little thing called set theory. So, what I need to explain to you, for those of you who haven't seen it before, and those who have can jump until after all the highlighting disappears, is these digits right here that I highlight in blue are exactly the same digits in the grid as those digits I've just highlighted in green. And many people who watch Sudoku will have seen this before. So, as I said, when the highlighting disappears, I'm done with the explanation as to why. But because of that, this digit is going to be a 7. So, how is it true that these digits in the corner are exactly the same as these? So, the way I will explain this is that it's going to go away very quickly. Is I'm going to start by highlighting these cells here. So, these cells that I'm highlighting are 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. And by that I mean this row here is a set of the digits 1 to 9. In a solved Sudoku grid, a column will contain a set of the digits 1 to 9 without repetition. This column here will contain a set of the digits 1 to 9 without repetition, definition of a column in a Sudoku grid. This box, the same, and this box, the same. So in the green digits, we will have 4 ones, 4 twos, 4 threes, 4 fours. We know exactly the makeup of those digits, even though we do not know where they go in there. I can do exactly the same by highlighting 4 rows. We don't know where they go, those digits go, but we do know that 4 rows of a Sudoku grid will contain 4 ones, 4 twos, 4 threes, 4 fours, etc. So green and blue in some disposition will contain the identical digits. But any individual cell within that is both green and blue will contain exactly the same digit. So if we remove that from the equation, then we still have exactly the same. So if you have green and blue being identical and you remove the same thing from both, they are still identical. So any cell that is green and blue, we can remove from this comparison. And what you end up with is that the green ring in the middle and the blue cells in the corners are identical. How does this help us? And the highlighting isn't going to go away, I just realized. So everyone who's looking, skip the go ahead. Oops, sorry. So, boy, have I messed this one up. I was expecting it to go away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the highlighting go away and go, so now what I want to do is I'm going to be looking for gaps in the grid where I cannot put stuff, because what I know is this is a complete set of the digits from 1 to 9, and this is a complete set of the digits from 1 to 9 with 2 digits taken out, and one of those digits is an 8. So I can only put 1 8 into this ring, but I've already got one in the corners. If I was to put this as an 8, I would have to put another 8 into this ring. And I'm putting 1 in this cage, but I cannot put 1 in this cage because I've already got one. So this has to be a 7. 9 plus 7 is 16. To get to 22, this needs to be a 6. This is not a 7. This 7 makes this a 7, and this is not a 7. That is really, really scaringly clever. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. Like, did that digit actually help me that much? but it gave me a digit. In fact, I now have all of the sevens as well as all of the nines. Can I use that to get more eights is the question. Now I need to put an 8 in here, but I can still put an 8 in here or here. So part of me wants to highlight this ring again, although I told people to jump ahead, so I can look for gaps in the ring. So I'm going to be missing an 8 in the corners. So it's going to, these corners are going to be a complete set of the digits 1 to 9 minus plus an, it's going to be two complete sets of the digits 1 to 9 minus an 8 minus a 1 or a 2. And it's, hang on, I've got two ones. So I can only have 1, 2. This has to be a 2. Because I have to put two ones in here. And because I have to put two ones in the ring, I can't put two twos in the ring, otherwise this cell would have no value. This has to be a 2. So this is a 3. And now I can't put two twos in the corner. This is a 3. 1 plus 3 is 4, so this has to be a 4. That is very clever. This is not 2 anymore. And now I've got the two cells that are missing from these. So I can never put another 2 in this ring. So the 2 up here must go in one of those cells. And I can never put another 8 in this ring, or in the yellow cells. Okay, does this do something else? There has to be something else this does. Sorry, I've been caught out by that trick, but I'm not sure. So there's no 2 there. So this is a 1-3 pair. This becomes the 2. So I've now got the 2 in the ring. This is a 1. This is a 3. Pay attention to the... So do I want to look at that quad? Because I don't think 8 has to be in there. No, it doesn't. 8 could still be in there or there. So ignore that. I keep forgetting I do need to put an 8 into this cage. But this... 4, 5, 6, 8. I think this first. 1, 4, 5, 6. That's actually not helping me at all. So can I figure out these? Because I've got 2 1s, so the 1s are done. So let's change those to green. Actually, green is a horrible color against the yellow. Let's change those to blue. I've got my 2. I've got my 2 3s. I need to put another 4 in here. So one of those is a 4. I need to put 2 5s in here. I've got my 2 7s. I've got my 8. And I've got my 2 9s. So these are a 4, 2 5s, and a 6. These aren't 4s. These aren't 6s. Those are 4. There's no 1 here. Those are... So this has got to be a 4-5 pair. So I can tell what this is. 1 and 3. And that's telling me what this is. 1, 2, 3. Without that being a 2, giving me a 1-3 pair in the column. But that's a 3. So that's a 1. That's a 3. That's a 3. There's no 3 in there. These don't line up vertically as nicely unless I'm missing something. This is a quad though. It's 1, 4, 5, 6. Of course it is. There's no 1, 4, or 5 there. That's a 6 because of the 1, 4, 5 that see it. So I can take 6 out of there. This is now 1, 4, 5, and there's a 4, 5 looking there. That is a 1. I can take the 1 out of there. This gives me a 4, 5 pair in that box. And in that column, that 1 is now looking at making that the 2 and that the 1. So this is now a pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. And there is a 6 in that box. That is an 8. That is a 6. And that is giving me these. This is a 5. This is a 6. This is a 4. This is a 5. And now I have the complete disposition of the corners. That is beautiful. That is a very cool use of the ring. And I have no idea if that was required, but it is absolutely pretty. That is not a 4. That is not a 6 or a 1. The only place left for 1 in the column is there. That is a 4 because of the 6 in the row. That makes this a 5 and this a 6. I have no idea if I'm just cleaning up now, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 8, which makes this an 8 and this a 6. 2 and 5. This is 1 and 2. This column, actually, let's just do this box. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. I need to put 2 and 5. That 5 there resolves them. This is 3, 6, and 8. There is a 3 and 6 in that row, so that's an 8. And then I can resolve this. This does feel like cleaning up, doesn't it? This is 8. I finally found the 8. 4, 5. That 5. 2, 3. Not yet. So these are 2, 3, and 4. There's no 2 in those. So this is the 2, which makes this the 3, this the 2, this the 4, this the 3. And now I'm down to the last box. This isn't the 8, this is the 8. Push the right buttons and it'll help. This is the 4. These last two have to be 1 and 6. And that is Power Grid. That was cool. I really like that use of the Fistemafel ring, which is what that pattern is called, on those two cells which fall out, to use the double sets of 1 to 9 to determine that that had to be a 7. And then I was able to use the same to determine, I think it was that had to be, no, that had to be a, it was that one. One of the, yeah, this had to be a 3 because I couldn't make it a 2, I think is what it was, because I had the pressure from this cell. That was very cool. And even then, being able to figure out that these were 4s, 5s, and 6s, that was very, very cool. Well, if you'd never seen set theory before, which is what that's called as well, so the pattern is called the Fistemafel ring, and the technique is called set equivalence theory, or set. That is a really cool introduction to it. It's used in a different way. Often it's used for mathematics to figure out sort of high-low pressure, whereas that one was literally just this digit cannot exist in this cell. Very, very cool. Well, thank you everyone for watching. I hope you are enjoying or about to enjoy March of the Quads. And yeah, good luck with your solving.